Good morning. I apologize, we're a few minutes late, but I'm lucky enough to be here today with one of our founders, Tom Bozzuto, and I am Jamie Gorski, the Chief Marketing Officer for the Bozzuto Group, and I will be interviewing Tom on his thoughts on diversity. So thank you, Tom, for doing this today.
My pleasure, Jamie. Thank you. I'm delighted to be able to participate in this.
It certainly comes through that it's important to you, and that means a lot to us. What does diversity mean to you? Why does it matter? And would you mind sharing any personal experiences that have helped shape your views on diversity?
Sure, absolutely. You know, again, we talk about diversity, but it really is more about inclusion. It's more about including everyone and giving everyone an opportunity. Diversity is sort of talking about making sure you bring in this group and that group, you know, and inclusion means we all have talent, we all have opportunities, we should all have opportunities to use those talents. Why is this important to me? I mean, you know, I get into the details on that in a bit, but personally, I mean, you know, as a young kid, I was, I guess, 13, and I was caddying at a golf course and golf club back in Waterbury, Connecticut, where I grew up. And I remember coming home one day and saying to my father, "Dad, this is really terrific. I really like this sport. I think when I grow up, I want to belong to this club." And he looked at me and he said, "Tommy, I'm sorry, but you'll never belong to the club. They don't allow Italians." And I remember taking two lessons away from that. One is that I hate golf, and the second is that bigotry is really stupid and it makes no sense. And so there have been lots and lots of somewhat related experiences, whether they've been personal or whether I've watched and been in the company of people who've said racist things, that it just always gets under my skin. I don't understand it. I have no room for it. In the company that we have put together, I want a company that takes advantage of the opportunity, of the skills presented by all people.
And I think having that attitude makes us a stronger company, because then we have this rich, diverse group that leads us in great ways. So even though it is the right thing to do, embracing diversity is not always easy. What should leaders do to ensure that workplaces are diverse and inclusive?
I think part of the reason it's not easy, I mean, maybe there's several reasons, but one is I think people just don't focus on it. And maybe when they hear it talked about on the news, they even get a little uncomfortable or a little defensive. So I think it's partially the responsibility of a leader in an organization to open the, if part of leadership is building the skills of the people who you work with, and I think that's a big part of leadership, then it also should involve opening the minds of the people who you work with so they can be most effective at what they do. And so I think part of being a leader of an organization today means making sure that those around you understand that talent can be found in all places, and that customers can be found in all places. And so we should, as a company and as people who are leading in the company, I think make a real point of trying to encourage open-mindedness on the part of our colleagues.
So every month, Bozzuto brings a diverse group of employees together from across the divisions, and they share their perspectives on diversity and inclusion at Bozzuto. Why are these discussions important, and what do you hope employees gain from these conversations?
Let me tell you the origin of these and tell you what I hope to accomplish. You know, it's fairly common knowledge, and I talk about it, I write about it, I visit properties. And I came back after, sometimes you can do things over and over again, and you get to the point where you don't see what's going on around you. And one day I just happened to be sitting in a property, and I was looking around and watching our customers, introducing myself to a few customers, and suddenly realized, and I don't generally think this way, but I realized these people don't look like me. They are the whole perspective of the universe of people. And I said, I wonder if we know how to deal with people from Tibet, how to deal with people from the Middle East. And so we came back, had a discussion with Kristen Reese and a number of other people, and concluded that having some programming that made us sensitive to the fact that there might be things we say, words we use, actions, that some others could take offense from, even where the offense was not intended. I thought, and others thought, would be a good thing. So the purpose of these is to raise our awareness to the fact that there are words we might have learned and used conversationally with our families or here in our school groups, or out on the golf course, that when you get out into the real world, are offensive to people, and you just can't use them. And that's what this is all about, this heightening people's sensitivity. And Jamie, to a person, the people I've spoken to who have gone through these sessions come out like they've just seen a new constellation, like they've just learned something that was there all the time, that they should have been aware of, but boy, are they glad they heard about it. So that's why we do it.
Yeah, you started this 3 to 4 years ago. And
We started it. I mean,
yes,
it was because
yes.
I maybe asked the question, but it wasn't. It was really Kristen's suggestion, and other people jumped on the bandwagon.
And they've gone really well.
Yeah.
And how do you judge the success of the program, and what does good look like to you?
You know, that's, I tend to make everything a bigger question than it ought to be, I suppose, and that's sort of like saying, how do you know you've led a good life? And, you know, I mean, I think it's not like a horse race where you finished and you know you've done it right or you've done it wrong. It's every day we do this, every day we have to get better. Every day we have to learn to treasure each other, value each other, respect each other. You know, I am an Italian kid. You know, I still think of myself as my father's son. I believe that there are few things more important than respect. You respect yourself, you respect each other, and that's what this is all about. So it's a continual process.
So Bozzuto was recently voted as one of the best places to work. How important is this honor to you?
You know, it's terrifically important. It's more important than any other honor we've we earn. I always joke, we're fortunately in an industry and we live in a world where people like to give awards and people like to give out recognition, and it's great to be on the receiving end of that. And, you know, honestly, we've been more fortunate with that than we probably deserve. But the award that, or the recognition that comes from your colleagues saying, hey, I enjoy going to work. I enjoy the company. I'm proud of the company. Is the most important accolade that I think we can get. If we could build a company together that we are all proud of, we all have respect for, and that others have respect for, as I think is the case with the Bozzuto Group, then I think we've really achieved something. It's continual. We have to do it every day. We have to earn it every day. But if we do that, then you know, then this award, and this award epitomizes that we're doing that. Then I think we've accomplished something.
Because of your great leadership, we're a great company, and I thank you today, you know, for doing this today, Tom.
Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate that. I am proud of the company. I'm proud of the succession we've put in place. I'm thrilled with Toby's leadership, and Julie has really stepped up into her new role, and Rick is hanging in, and I'm just delighted with the way both internally and externally people have responded to that. And I look at the future of the company, and I look at where Toby and the partners want to go with the company, and I am thrilled because they want to continue to grow it. But at the same time, all of that is built around the maintenance of and respect for our corporate values. So I'm delighted. So thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to do this, and thank you for your time.